Sierra Alpha Prime. By Dion Robinson. Chapter 13.
Palmer Video Log. Dr. Joilee Raina James. January 21, 2460 C.E. Weeks after a hostile meeting with the Adarun people, we were directed to go to the colonize oasis. Dapashe knew where the land resided and set sail the destination. It was a long bearish journey, and I was suffering from an upset stomach. I guess the Palmer did not give a full analysis of the native seafood I ate. Luckily, the biosign monitor that was the size of a grain of rice implanted in my arm before I left Earth detected the foreign substance in my body. After a day of dispelling the toxins in my body, I would not dare to eat any creature from the water. Nevertheless, I had a lot of the food that the Sakital people had brought from their own land. After weeks of sailing on the open ocean, we docked in a desert-like region. Dapashe commanded the Texunse tribe to wait in the port and stock up on supplies. Upon sight of the landscape, I was amazed. The sand was of a dark crimson-purple color, and the skies no longer held their pinkish hue. Yet, the nebula changed the color spectrum of the atmosphere to an indigo color. However, unlike the Sahara Desert, this barren land had freezing temperatures. When Joilee and her are docked at the Donjal port, they restocked their food supplies, including heavier clothes for the freezing desert climate. However, I still managed to find beauty in this desolate land. The food supplies were animal venison cooked in somewhat heavy animal fat. Interestingly, many cultures living in extremely cold climates cooked food high in fat throughout Earth's history. This diet was used for extra calories and was a great way to provide body heat. However, I was going to be more cautious. I have gotten relaxed eating the food on this planet. I forgot to test everything with my Palmer. Never again. To my luck, the food is edible. It was a bit gamey. I wish I had a gravy cube from a ration pack, but I guess luxury was not a necessity. As a matter of fact, living in luxury was non-existent, except for what my government provided. As for the clothes, the weaving is amazing for keeping the body warm. The weaving was made from the desert plant fiber called the burkatan. This flower is a thermogenic plant that produces heat. The clothes made from the fibers were light, but they kept me warm. Joilee was given a hood dress with a see-through veil to protect her face. The Palmer scans stated the clothes produce at least 4,000 BTUs/per hour. It was like wearing a sauna. After acquiring a few traveling packs to hold our inventory, we were on our way. After we had prepared for our journey, we made our way to see the tribe of the Dapashe. We were directed to cross the blue desert called the Kionji Valley, the Indigo's 8IC Plateau, the coldest Dapashe region, and the colonize oasis. The natives said that the oasis was the most fertile region as the hot springs allowed vegetation to prosper. It was a 5-day journey on foot. Me, Mantico, Jimbere, and Dapashe made our way to the oasis.
Crossing the blood sands of Dapashe, Joilee and her escorting party made their way to the beginning edge of the Kionji Valley. The Palmer read that it was at least 30 degrees. Joilee activated Palmer's climate scan. The further into the desert, the climate would drop to a -10 degrees. However, with thermogenic clothing, it was 20 degrees warmer. As Joilee tracked the desert, she and her crew felt they had phenomenal experiences with their clothes. The more the temperatures dropped in climate, the clothes would produce more BTUs. The plant fibers seem to have a resistant effect of producing more heat when detecting climate change. This is how the burkatan plant would survive the harsh weather. During the days, the temperature reached as high as -5 degrees, and at night it dropped to -20 degrees. The adventurers were able to seek shelter with tent-like coverings which were also made from burkatan fibers. Within a day and a half, they reached the Zaitai Plateau. They had to scale the 2-story mountain structure before they could walk. They reached the final destination. The top of the plateau was far more frigid than the desert. The plateau consisted of high frigid winds that dropped to -70 degrees. The cold weather penetrated the clothes as the BTU threshold cap was -40 degrees. However, they pushed forward through gusty frigid winds. While in the freezing tundra conditions, the party's rations are nearly depleted. Joilee's winter protection wardrobe is failing as the climate slowly drops beyond her wardrobe hyperthermia threshold. However, the climate was not much of a bother for Mantico or the other Sierrans, as their anatomy could produce 30% more B.T.U.S. than humans. As Jembere was doing recon overhead, he realized a desert storm was coming their way. Joilee started to panic as there was nothing but barren wasteland miles all around. Dapache suggests taking their weapons and digging a hole into the ground. Joilee wasted digging through the cold, fidget grainy sand with her hand. However, Joilee quickly stopped as she quickly was frostbitten. Joilee started to shiver from the hyperthermia and pain. Joilee did not realize the sand was far below -120 degrees. Mantico took off his protective blanket and wrapped it around Joilee. Then, Mantico grabbed his dagger and started rapidly digging. The other joined him as Jembere used a sickle, and Dapache used his spear to dig into the Sierra soil. Once, they were about 8 feet deep into the Sierra surface. Mantico, Jembere, and Dapache covered the ground with their thermogenic blankets and used the tent to cover the top. The 3 Sierra sat on the base of the team to keep the tip from blowing away. However, Joilee was in the center of the 3 Sierrans, lying from exhaustion. Joilee had her hands inside her wardrobe, trying to recover from hyperthermia. Mantico grabs Joilee's hands to examine them. Mantico realizes the injuries. Mantico poured water on his Joilee's hands to remove the sand from her hand. Mantico retrieved a wood flask from his hip pouch which contains a medical ointment. Mantico rubbed the solution on Joilee's hands. Joilee felt a relieving effect as the pain subsided and could feel the fingers. "Thank you," Joilee replied with shivering lips before going to sleep. After a day and a half of taking refuge in the ground, the party continued on their journey. As Joilee walked, she looked at Mantico with great admiration for looking after her since they first met. Joilee was starting to see something special in Mantico as something more than a friendly companion. However, Joilee kept her emotions in check. Any actions of interspecies relations were forbidden on all accounts. For one, they were 2 different species. Even though Sierra natives shared 65% DNA, the outmixing genetics would have an unpredictable outcome. Moreover, it would violate E.G.C. prime directive of any interplanetary romantic relations. Any E.G.C. personnel would face court-martial, quarantine, and be sentenced to death. Moreover, their corpse would be used to observe any possible alien microbial species that the human would have contracted from another species. It doesn't mean that a microbial special would be a sexually transmitted infection, however, sharing alien DNA may have unforeseen complications for humans or Sierran species. Regardless, Joilee decided to show her gratitude toward Mantico for his unconditional care. Joilee reached into her hip pocket and removed her dog tags issued to her by the E.G.C. Giving gifts was allowed by the E.G.C. policy if it encouraged political relations. It was all she had, and I hope it would say a lot. Joilee approached Mantico. Joilee playful brushed up against Mantico. "Joilee, I see you are feeling better." "Yeah, I will feel great when we reach your destination." "Yes, this land is very unpleasant." "Anyway, I have a gift for you," Joilee replied as she held up her dog tags. "What are they?" "It is something that makes me proud and gives me hope every time I look at them." "I can't take this." "Strange, are you the one who said it was a bad omen if a gift was rejected?" "It is indeed our cultural belief. So what are you going to do if you need to feel proud or hope?" "I'll just glance in your direction," Joilee smiled before walking ahead. Mantico smiled as he looked at the name tags that had Joilee's full name, rank, and her E.G.C. assigned agricultural sector. It was a tiring 3-day trek before they reached the edge of the plateau. At that moment, the winds had ceased, and the sky became clear. Joilee looked up to finally see the beautiful Dapache galactic sky. Jembere was becoming irritated by Mantico's infatuation with Joilee. "Do you really have time to stand there and waste time?" Jembere scolded Joilee. "Sorry, I am just being grateful for surviving another day." "Stupid alien," Jembere scoffed. "Watch what you say. She is new to our world, and if she wants to gander at the stars above, then so be it." "Could you two stop the fighting and come have a look?" Dapache replied as he stated while looking over the cliffs. Everyone did what Dapache suggested and looked over the cliff. Joilee and the others saw a valley that was thriving in vegetation. This must be the Khalisal oasis, Joilee replied excitedly. Finally, maybe we can get out of this cursed land. We better get going.